Hello everybody, welcome back to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason, bringing you today's episode. This is my fuzzy co-star Freya. She may poke her head in, she's stretching right now. Got a longer puppy now. As always guys, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We're just a small family channel that just love to talk about books, and we appreciate any support you want to give us. Also, check down below, check the links down below. We've got links to our Discord channel. Please come talk about books with us. And our Patreon, thank you very much to you guys that are supporting us. And then links to authors, books, stuff like that, anything else we can think of. The Amazon affiliate channel that was suggested that we create by some of you guys. So today I want to feature another author. Again, this whole series was suggested by one of our fans. This comes from our fantasy authors that you may not have heard of. Today I want to feature Mickey Zucker Reichert. Fantastic author. I know a lot of you guys have heard of him, just like some of the other authors we've talked about. Again, this is for younger readers, and again, no matter how invested we are into a genre or how much we love to read, there's going to be authors that slip through the cracks that we just never come across or don't read because you got 30 books to read, 30 authors to read. You just pick a couple of them, and some just fall through the cracks. Mickey Zucker Reichert is one that should never fall through the cracks. Phenomenal author. Has written some amazing stuff. Now, I'm going to kind of go in a reverse order. Probably their best and my favorite I'm going to talk about last. So I'm just going to talk about a few of what Reichert has written. So the Nightfall series. Nightfall is pretty cool. Again, your typical swords and sorcery type of world. But Nightfall is an assassin, but is an interesting assassin because in a way he's almost a courtly assassin. And I mean, he's got his rough edges, but kind of a courtly assassin, and ends up via kind of a magic geas almost, or magic enslavement sort of, ends up being almost a bodyguard to royalty. And that leads to a very interesting 2 or 3 book series that's just a lot, might be more by now, that's just a lot of fun. Reichert is still writing, by the way. Last I saw him, and I saw something came out not too long ago. I hope they're still writing. Nightfall. It's a ton of fun. I've read, I don't know if I've read them all, but I've read at least the first 2 or 3. Another one, and one of my personal favorites, the Bifrost Guardians. The Bifrost Guardians was a very interesting book. Now, one thing with Mickey Zucker Reichert that I've noticed, they tend to read a lot of Norse type mythology into it, which makes sense because the name is very Germanic. I'm half German. I'm born and raised in Germany. I can actually translate some of their name into actual words, but a lot of Norse mythology, and that's where the Bifrost, Bifrost Bridge, of course, Bifrost Guardians comes into play. But it's a very interesting series because in a way you almost have some isekai elements to it, and it does eventually even cross into modern day in our world, which is pretty cool. And it's a fun series. It's a very interesting set of characters, a very interesting quest in a way that they are on, and just overall it's a pretty cool series. And I do like how it eventually ends and how things are resolved, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. It's truly a lot of fun. Imagine taking a skilled fantasy world thief and putting him in, say, New York or LA today, and what kind of havoc they could wreak. Or maybe not today, but say New York or LA of, say, the 1980s with less, cameras and internet and stuff like that. Be pretty interesting. Be pretty interesting. Now, my favorite of what Reichert has written, the Reichert Chronicles. Now, I believe there's 2 distinct trilogies and maybe a couple of other books in there. The Reichert Chronicles are really cool. Again, you get a lot of Norse mythology, but it doesn't start coming into play until a little bit further on. The first book, and you get a little bit of a, not a bait and switch, but a little bit of a curveball thrown at you. Because the first book, you're introduced to this tribe or clan of master swordsmen. That's what they're known for their abilities, undefeatable with their swordsmanship. However, they're also not particularly popular, live on an island, and eventually they are crushed just by overwhelming force. Doesn't matter how good of a swordsman you might be, you got a clan or a tribe of a few hundred, even a few thousand, aren't going to be able to take on an army of 50,000. It's just not going to happen. And you have this, one of the few remaining Renshai a child, a crippled child, eventually a crippled child, a child that learned enough of the swordsmanship to eventually be able to practice and master the Renshai style of swordsmanship, surviving, traveling, joining another kingdom, eventually becoming crippled, and yet still managing to survive, to live, to fight, and that ends up introducing you to a side character, another older Renshai named Kobe, who then kind of takes over the series and ends up being the main character throughout the rest of the series. And the rest of the series, we start crossing into Norse mythology, Norse gods, gods of strength, Magni, gods of strength, of course, God of Thunder, Thor, and you've got Odin and the Bifrost and Heimdall and all the Norse gods and Norse mythology and the magic and stuff like that. But Kobe ends up being pretty much the central character and pretty fascinating and pretty cool how everything ends up linking in his arc and his characterization. So Mickey Zucker Reichert, guys, if you haven't read any of it, check out the Red Shot Chronicles or Nightfall. Nightfall's a whole lot of fun. Or again, the Bifrost Guardians. They're a little bit weirder series. Fantastic. Thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.